Friends, today we will see one more interesting experiment with concern with the relativity or theory of relativity. That is, experiment is nothing but the Michelson-Morley experiment. See, in last year in optics, there was an experiment, Michelson experiment. Here, this is Michelson's Morley experiment, and very interesting one. See, we know that we will here discuss just about its theory. Friends, we know that the light waves propagates through ether with a speed of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now, in last lecture we have discussed the medium ether. Here again, the ether is nothing but a hypothetical medium, and it is supposed to be present everywhere in order to explain the propagation of light from one point to another. The earth moves through it with a linear speed of about 3 into 10 raised to 4 meter per second, and along the with the earth. We move through ether as a result of the earth's orbital motion around the sun. If the sun is also in motion, the speed with which we are moving through ether may be greater. Friends, if therefore two beams of light are sent out such that one travels in the direction of motion of the earth and the other at right angle to this direction, these would require different times for round trip journeys to the same distance. If this time difference could be measured, we can determine the velocity of earth with respect to other. See, just we can say that if we want to measure the velocity of the earth, then we have to learn about this Michelson's Morley experiment. If that difference in the time, if we are able to measure, then we can determine the velocity of earth with respect to the ether. See here the experimental arrangement of this Michelson's Morley experiment. Here is the telescope T. S is nothing but a source of light which is incident on these semi-silvered glass plates. This P is a semi-silvered glass plate which is placed at an angle of 45 degree with the incident beam. Each wave of the incident beam is splitted into two waves having the same amplitude. Here it is splitted, here it is also splitted. One of these two waves are reflected by this glass plate P, and that a part of this wave is then transmitted through this glass plate P. Here it is transmitted. Again, here is also the telescope. This is a mirror M2, and by which we have to observe all these things. This part then enters a telescope T. The other part of the incident beam, for example, the transmitted wave travels to Earth's mirror M2, which reflects back here, which reflects back from here, which reflects back. See, here, which reflects back towards the glass plate P. A part of this wave is then partially reflected into telescope T. In actual arrangement of the interferometer, another glass plate is introduced in the path of the transmitted beam, and that is also called as a compensating glass plate. The paths of two beams, it should be equal in glass medium. The two beams enter the telescope along incident paths and interfere with each other. An interference pattern consisting of two bright and dark interference is obtained. Now, the both mirrors M1 and M2 are the same distance d from the glass plate P. Here we will see M1 and M2. This M1, M2 are having the same distance. This is a d. D from the glass plate P. Then if the apparatus is stationary, in either the two waves takes same time to return to the glass plate P and hence meet in the same phase at the glass plate and also in the telescope. The whole apparatus C is moving with the same velocity. Suppose that the direction of motion coincides with the direction of the incident beam. Then the incident beam strikes the glass plate when it is in the position P as shown in figure 8. In previous figure, that situation is shown. Due to motion of the apparatus, the paths of the reflected and transmitted waves and their reflections at M1, M2 and glass plate P will be shown by the dotted lines. It is obvious that the time required by the two waves for their round trip journey through the same distance will not be equal. Then the transmitted waves travel towards M2, approaching it with a relative velocity c minus v. After reflection at M2, it travels the glass plate P with velocity c plus v. Hence, the time required by this wave for its round trip is given by these equations. Friends, one more thing in addition I want to tell you that if you means not if but you have to draw the diagram in a previous slide which you have been observed in another separate paper by which you will get this discussion how the happenings is going on. See now here the time required by this wave for its round trip is given by T2 equal to d by divided by c minus d plus d upon c plus d and is nothing but 2d divided by c square minus d square and T2 equal to 2d by this much equation we will denote it as equation number 1. Then the time required by the reflected friends, the time required by the reflected wave for its round trip is given by T1, T suffix 1 equal to 2T prime. Equation 2 is there, where T prime is the time required by the wave to travel from P to T prime from difference of P A prime M2 dash is given by P A prime 2 equal to Pm square plus Am square. And see here Pm equals to Vt1 by 2 equals to V2T prime by 2 is nothing but Vt prime, and by putting these values in the place of Pm square, that is nothing but here C square P square prime equals to, by putting this value in case of this plus d square. See here this d square is nothing but P prime square in bracket c square minus v square here here, and this d square we have been put here, and by which we are getting d square equal to, this term will go to in towards this side with the negative sign, and by which 2 prime square equal to d square c square minus v square, and is nothing but t prime equals to d upon c square minus v square equal to 0.5 equal to d by c in bracket 1 plus v square upon 2c square. This is equation 3, and from equation 1 and 2 we find that the difference in the time required by the two waves or their round trip is given by this equation t2 minus t1. See, we having here t2 and t1. Here this is a t1 and this is a t2, and by putting these values we are having d v square by c cube. This is the equation number 4. This difference produces a change in the phase relationship between the two beams of light which enters the telescope. As a result, we should expect a shift in the fringe system across the crosshairs of the telescope. An optical path difference on one wavelength between the two beams must result in a shift of one fringe across the crosshairs. If the period of vibration is t, then the shift in fringe system to be expected in the above case is nothing but the difference of n equals to t2 minus t1 by t, and if the wavelength of the light used is lambda and its frequency is n, then T equals to 1 by n equal to lambda by c, or here we can write c equals to n lambda, and in this is nothing but the optical phase difference, path difference is n equal to t2 minus t1 upon t equals to, by putting these values we get here dv square upon lambda c square. The displacement of the fringe cannot be noted since the apparatus is at rest with respect to the observer all the time. Hence, with an apparatus stationary on Earth, no information regarding the time difference between the two paths can be obtained. The apparatus is then slowly turned to 90 degrees so that the two beams interchange their paths. This is equivalent to introducing an additional path difference slowly, which would make the displacement of the fringes noticeable. And so it is obvious that 2 dv square by lambda c2 fringes should be displaceable, and by this we are getting the Michelson's-Morley experiment for a better sake of understanding about the theory of relativity and how the time is related with the happening here is discussed. This is one of the important experiment, and I will again instruct you that before going to start or to see the whole this video, you have to draw the diagram of Michelson-Morley experiment in another sheet plain paper, by which you will get the idea how the traveling of light is takes place from S is the source of light, then M1 and M2 are the two mirrors, and how it is a half silvered mirror is partly the ray is transmitted and partly reflected, how it's compensated, and how we are getting the throughout the system of this experiment takes place, and what is the theory behind it. And therefore uh, try to draw the diagram and then see the video, then you will enjoy this through from this experiment you will get the idea. Thank you very much. We will see, we will meet in another lecture next time. Thank you very much.